majaji kwa kufanya uamuzi huo. Asante.
Naam, mtazamaji, kama unavyoona, kama unavyosikia pia na kama unavyotazama, huyo ni mwakilishi wa wadi hapa katika eneo ama wadi ya Keregoya, ambaye tupatia tu taswira yake kamili na hisia zake kuhusiana na ile uamuzi uliotolewa na mahakama ya upeo siku hii ya leo, ambapo wamesema kuwa rais mteule William Ruto ndio atashikilia usukani. Wanasema kuwa samaki ama nyama yote imepikwa, sasa tunangoja kupakuliwa. Kwako studio, Bentorenjwe.
Shukran Halid Abdullahi akiwa county ya Kirinyaga. They are sampling some of the leaders. Actually, I sampled some of the responses from this current MCA there. And as you can see in your screen, is set. Those are live pictures from Karen. Yes, Mike Chest 1-2. We're expecting the president-elect to be giving his statement. And as you can see, Kenya Kwanza leaders, UDA, there we can see Musalia Mudavadi, Alfred Mutua. We see Kirinyaga County Governor and Waiguru also there. We are expecting that the president-elect will make his first major statement in regards to this apex court decisions. And also, as you can see, those are live pictures from the Nairobi CBD, right, my director? Yes, indeed, it is just Kenyans there at the Kencom bus station. And Kenyans there are waiting. There are big screens in various parts of the CBD there. And jubilant, some are continuing with their business after that decision. And those are live pictures now, again, from Karen. That is the resident of President-elect William Ruto there. Our leaders had gathered there and they were listening and keeping a keen eye on the happenings at the apex court. We do expect that a major announcement will be made. Leaders, as you can see, they are still streaming in just to congratulate the president-elect, who we expect to be sworn in as the 5th president on Tuesday the coming week. Ray?
There, and we have been having a view of the country, so to speak, in various strategic counties as well as towns there, to just look at what Kenyans have to say and what is the general mood. This was highly anticipated. Noon was a time that was slated to have the decision, and the decision has been rendered unanimously, so to speak, by the apex court that has upheld the election of William Ruto there as president-elect. Those are live pictures from Karen, where we expect that the president-elect William Ruto is going to be giving his address, the first after the delivery of the judgment in this petition. This particular petition had 9 issues, among them the issue of interference, whether technology deployed by the IEBC in the elections met the standards of integrity, verifiability, security and transparency. All the 7 judges there unanimously making the decision and saying that all the 9 key issues, there was no substantive evidence to nullify the election. And such, we have William Ruto as the president-elect, and those are live pictures from Karen, where he's expected to take to the podium anytime from now to address leaders under the Kenya Kwanza coalition there, as you can see, as well as affiliate members who are already at the current residence, anticipating to hear from the president-elect William Ruto there. That's the residence, and we can see contingents of security apparatus already there. We can see GSU as well, some plainclothes police there, just trying to ensure that the stage and the area itself is secured, awaiting that particular address. We're also having leaders there, as you can see. We're zooming in on Kirinyaga governor-elect there, as well as Ken Lusaka there. We're also having some members of the communication team under Kenya Kwanza there, led by former journalist Mohammed Hussein there. We're also seeing Alfred Mutua and ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi there, among the Kenyans who are eagerly anticipating the first address there, so to speak, after the delivery of the judgment of the presidential petition after the August 9th polls. Earlier on, we were just having views from Kenyans across the country. We gave you a look of how things are looking at in Eldoret Town, Uasin Gishu County, as well as Nyeri there and Kirinyaga, and also just a sneak peek into activities down at Kencom area, the Central Business District, where we have our reporters who have been just keenly looking at how the country is looking at. Now we soon let's have a listen into what Kipnusu has for us there down from Eldoret, Uasin Gishu. Kipnusu, good afternoon.
A very good afternoon to you, my colleague there at the broadcasting house in Nairobi. Yes, indeed, I'm coming to you live from Uasin Gishu County, one of the counties where all eyes have been focused on, bearing in mind this is the home county of the President-elect William Samoei Ruto. And residents here have been eagerly awaiting this proclamation from the 7-judge bench, and they have been here enduring heavy downpour, just watching a big screen mounted here in the CBD. And after the after the announcement from the 7-judge bench, of course, from the Chief Justice and the President of the Supreme Court, this particular place went into celebration. The residents here are excited, and it is actually on another level. As you can see behind me, a number of them are continuing with their celebrations. Of course, traditional songs from the Kalenjin community is the one renting the air, and joining me is a number of them just to tell us their views about the pronouncement from the 7-judge bench. Asante sana, karibia hapa, naona umevalia magwanda haya. Pengine tueleze kwanza unaitwa nani na mbona uko katika hali hii na umechukuliaje uamuzi uliotolewa na majaji wa mahakama ya upeo?
No, first of all, let me start by introducing myself. My name is Kevin Kosge. This is the region where I belong. Mimi ni mkazi hapa Uasin Gishu, nimezaliwa hapa. Kwanza mimi nina furaha zaidi, manake nina furaha kwa sababu nimeweza kupata president ambaye anatoka area hii. Ni furaha, ndio maana naona nimevalia hii kitu hapa. Hii kitu kwa Kikalenjin tunaita sinendeti. Hii ndio sisi mababu zetu ndio tuambia, hii ndio kitu za zile mahali kuna sherehe, mahali yani any ceremonial yenye inaendelea. Hii sisi kwa kwetu ndio maana unaona tunavalia hii kitu hii. Mimi kwanza nina furaha kabisa. Asante.
Pengine nipate mwanadada, pengine songe hapa karibu. Ruto ametangazwa kuwa rais mteule na uamuzi ule majaji umekuwa ukisubiriwa zaidi. Pengine matarajio yako ni yapi na unahisi kivipi baada ya tangazo hilo?
Kwa majina naitwa Masiteptitir, mimi ni mkaaji hapa Uasin Gishu. Tuko na furaha tele. We just say congratulations to our president elect. Thank you.
Asante sana. Pengine kijana songe hapa, wewe vile vile umekuwa hapa, matarajio yako ni yapi wewe kama kijana? Maana tunazungumzia kuhusiana na kuchukua kwa ajira miongoni mwa vijana.
First of all, my name is Jackson Maya. We are so happy by what the Supreme Court has just announced. Tunafurahia sana. We want to say congratulations to anaitwa Doyen William Samoei Ruto. Yeah.
There is another lady who has been praying all through when the 7-judge bench, of course, when the Chief Justice and the President of the Supreme Court was making a number of issues regarding to the presidential petition. And I want to understand what was going on. Unaomba wakati ambapo zoezi hilo lilikuwa linaendelea. Pengine umehisi vipi na unaona kwamba wale majaji wameweza kutoa uamuzi ambao ni wa busara?
Bwana asifiwe. Kwa majina naitwa Pastor Rosti ya Mtai na ubiri taoni. Ombi langu lilikuwa naomba tu ya kwamba Mungu asituaibishe, atuinue kutoka kiwango kingine hata kingine. Maana tunajua kwamba Biblia nasema kwamba katika kitabu cha Isaia 54 mstari wake ni 17, kula silaha kinyume chetu haitafanikiwa. Nilikuwa nasema kwamba hakuna silaha kinyume chetu ya kupangwa atakayefanikiwa kwa maisha yetu. Maana sisi ni washindi na you are more than conquerors in the name of Jesus. Mbarikiwe na neema ya Mungu tutoshe. Amani, amani, amani ya Yesu.
Asante sana. Pengine una maoni vile kuhusiana na swala hili, tukitamatisha, nini kipi ambacho unatarajia kwamba Ruto ataweza kufanya au matarajio yako kwa rais mteule William Ruto?
Mimi kwa majina naitwa David Mokuria. Naweza tarajia apunguze bei ya unga na mafuta. Sana sana hii ndio muhimu, kwa imeleta shida sana.
Pengine swala la ajira?
Ajira kwanza kwa sisi kama vijana kama sisi tumemaliza shule juzi. Tunataka ajira itokee. Kama mimi nimesomea agriculture, naweza penda agriculture.
Asante sana. Wa mwisho pengine mwanadada, unaona vile vile umevalia kijunji hapa, pengine ukiteremka hapa chini, wewe unahisi vipi? Na vile vile kwa mara ya kwanza wale majaji wameweza kutupilia mbali ile pendekezo ya wale ambao walikuwa wanapinga rufaa au kupinga uamuzi wa Kenya kuhusiana na William Ruto kuchaguliwa. Pengine unasema nini?
Niko na furaha sana. Kwa majina kwanza naitwa Eunice Bonai kutoka Moiben hapa Wasingishu. Niko na furaha sana kwa siku ya leo kwa sababu ni mara ya kwanza tukipata president amewania kitu for the first time na amepita. Kwa machache tunawashukuru. Congratulations sana Mother Koome.
Asante. Mwisho?
Kwa majina naitwa Kipchirchir Evans. Mimi ni mkaaji hapa Eldoret. Nashukuru chaji kwa kutupatia president William Ruto. Niko na imani William Ruto atakuja kutusaidia sisi wakazi wa Eldoret, hasa sisi watu wa bodaboda. Tuko na imani naye sana kwa promise inakuwa tumepromise. Tuko imani sana atakuja kutusaidia kwa hapa Eldoret.
Kwa sasa kuna wale ambao walikuwa wanataraji kwamba pengine Raila atatangazwa. Wito wako kwao ni nini hasa ikizingatiwa kwamba Wakenya waliweza kushiriki katika zoezi la uchaguzi, Ruto alipotangazwa wakawa na amani? Unasema nini kuhusiana na swala hilo?
Mimi nawaambia watu walikuwa kwa side ya Raila wakuje pamoja tufanye kazi. Hii nchi ni yetu na hii nchi ya kila mtu, nchi yetu sisi wote.
Wito kwa watu wa Raila nawaambia karibuni Kenya Kwanza, tuunde serikali mpya pamoja na Kenya Kwanza. And kwa Raila, there is tomorrow, my leader.
There you have it, my colleague there at the broadcasting house. The excitement is immense. A number of them are having expectation that William Samoei Ruto, once he is sworn in on 13th of this month, he's going to deliver a number of issues. Of course, the bottom-up economic model that he promised the Kenyans all over the country, and of course also they are having confidence that William Ruto will address the issue of unemployment, and of course also the issue of the bleeding of the burden of the high debt in the country. A number of issues that actually was in the manifesto of the Kenya Kwanza alliance led by William Samoei Ruto. And of course, I'm told, and a number of places where I went, a number of schools were closed just to celebrate this win that was really expected. Remember, William Ruto garnered 272,868 votes here in Uasin Gishu County against his closest competitor, Raila Amolo Odinga, who garnered 76,009 votes. So it is celebration in Uasin Gishu County, as you can see, as you can hear behind me, and it seems this celebration is not going to be over. We'll be here painting a picture in Uasin Gishu County, the political bedrock of William Samoei Ruto. From me, Timothy Kipnusu, I hand you back to the studio in Nairobi.
Timothy Kipnusu for that particular update on what is happening in Eldoret town that happens to be Uasin Gishu County there. And as my colleague mentioned, that has been a bedrock for William Samoei Ruto there. Kenyans down there very ecstatic with the decision that the Apex Court just made in under 1 hour and a half ago there, upholding the election of William Samoei Ruto as president-elect. He's going to be sworn in after 7 days. That makes it September 13th. And we are going to be keeping tabs on that. We'll continue also to keeping tabs on various parts of the country, including the Central Business District there, where Hibak Said has been setting camp to just look at what is happening and as far as business is running, is operations underway in terms of public transport and such. And we're going to be bringing you up to speed with that. We are also monitoring what is happening at the current residence there, where we expect that for the first time after declaration there, or the verdict being read by none other than Chief Justice Martha Koome there, that upheld the election of William Ruto as the president-elect there. We expect that he's going to be addressing contingent of leaders that are already at his current residence there amid a heavy security presence. Now, we'd want to take you down to Siaya County, County 42 in Bondo, where we're joined by my colleague Wycliffe Okechi, bring us up to speed with what is happening. Good afternoon, Wycliffe. What's the status report from Bondo?
Well, good afternoon to you, Regina Manyara, back in Nairobi. We are, of course, coming to you live from Bondo Town in Siaya County. This is the hometown of Azimio la Umoja presidential candidate Raila Odinga, and we know that the verdict that has been waited with bated breath has actually been delivered this afternoon by the 7 bench judges that forms part of the apex court. And now we can confirm actually the president, the Deputy President William Ruto is now the president-elect and will be sworn in on the 13th. And actually that has elicited quite some reactions across the country. We have seen celebrations in parts where William Ruto was actually very famous and popular. But then coming back down to the strongholds of Raila Odinga, we do know that this is the Siaya County, the home county of Raila Odinga, and we can expect that basically this is one of his political backyards and territories. And it hasn't been quite a similar scenario as witnessed in other areas of the other parts of the country, as my colleague Christine behind the camera is basically panning and showing you what the picture you are seeing on the screens right now is that it is all normal, and it's all normal, and people are just going about their businesses here. You can see the border riders are parked here waiting for customers to transport to various areas, and people are just going about their activities as usual. Actually, right now here there is just very little to celebrate, and it's not all gloomy though. People are just probably this is something expected. I have spoken with a number of them before coming on set here, and some of them they expected the ruling, but some of them this has come as a surprise. But before delving deeper into this, Regina, I have a few gentlemen here probably to talk to us and get to hear from them what did they expect from the ruling this afternoon, and what is it to them going forward. Brother, if you can just move here and face the camera here and tell us your names in full. And we had seen, we saw the proceedings, or rather we followed the proceedings last week at the apex court, that the Supreme Court, both sides, for the divide, the petitioners and the respondents argued their case, and today the verdict has been delivered, and it hasn't gone the way probably you guys expected. Maybe you can just tell us your name and briefly, what did you expect, and how do you feel now?
I'm Wycliffe Ochieng. I'm a resident of Bondo. I never expected such a verdict from the Supreme Court, because based on the evidence of the Azimio la Umoja, we as supporters, we were convinced that this election was null and void. So what we are waiting for now is to get direction from our presidential candidate, His Excellency Raila Odinga. Thank you.
And probably you can, when I look around, I can see the normalcy, just people are going about their businesses as usual. This is probably not the scenario maybe in a few electoral cycles. What has changed?
Nothing much have changed. If you are so keen, if you look at 2017, 2013, we supporters of Raila Odinga, what we do, we wait for him to speak to us. So whatever Raila will say, that is the direction we shall take. If he says, let us move on, it is okay. If he gives us another direction, that is it. And that is why you can see things are very normal. We are still waiting for him.
Okay.
Thank you.
What is your message to the rest of Kenyans?
What I want to tell Kenyans, let us now respect the opinion of the Supreme Court. But again, in the opinion of the public, we are not convinced based on the evidence that we saw live on our television sets. Thank you.
All right. Regina, I have a few more to interview and get the reactions regarding the verdict that was delivered. You can just come on set and look into the camera and tell us your name and what did you expect out from the ruling today, and has it gone according to your expectation?
Okay, thank you. My name is Joseph Oyamo. I'm a resident of this place, Bondo Town. Yes, having said that, today's ruling by the Supreme Court has actually come out as a surprise. Yes, as supporters of Azimio here in his very backyard, we were expecting that, he could win because people turned out and voted for him massively. But of course, the result that was released by the IBC was not convincing, and there was the case in the court that followed. And by the evidences that we saw the legal team producing before the court, they were kind of convincing. But now, as we have just seen, every petition that was placed before the court has been dismissed, and the result is out. Yeah, we just have to accept. Yeah, in as much as we may not agree, but we accept. Yeah.
As an individual, how are you going to treat this, and what message do you have for the rest of Kenyans, especially probably those that reside in these parts of the country?
Oh, as an individual, you know, Kenya is bigger than myself, yes, and the decision, once it has been made by the Apex Court, there's nothing much that I can do. As I've said, I've accepted, and I'll continue with my day-to-day activities, and even to other people who have been showing their full support to Raila Odinga. I would just like to urge you to resume to your daily activities. There's nothing much we can do. If at all there is anything, Raila with his team will actually give us direction. Yeah, I know he may talk today or tomorrow. Once he had talked, I think he will advise us. But as individuals, let us also make decisions that, you know, are helpful to us and to our country. Yes, let us not get into violence. Yeah.
As a resident of this region, probably, what do you expect from the regime that is coming in?
The regime that is coming in, of course, for a very long time, this region has been in opposition, and as a result, there has not been much development as compared to the areas that have been in government. So probably I will expect the same, but if something happens, you know, maybe I can be proven wrong if you can see new developments. But as we can see, the place, as you compare with other places that leaders have been supporting the government, there's a substantial difference on development. Yeah, so I would expect the same, but maybe this one may be different. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ben Trenjue, those are some of the reactions from the residents of Bondo town, like you've heard from the two that I've just spoken with, is that they're mentioning that they will respect the decision of the court that has upheld the victory of William Ruto in the August 9th presidential election. And what they are calling upon is for the electorate here, or rather the residents of this region, to be specific to respect the decision of the court and work with the government of the day, actually, because the president of Kenya is a president of every Kenyan, of everybody within the Kenyan borders, and that has actually been the call from the residents that have been able to speak with in this region. Maybe something that I have to mention is the security situation in the county here, in this region rather. Before I came on set, actually I spoke with the Siaya County Police Commander regarding the security situation in the county, and he has assured me that, or rather he has mentioned that up to now there is nothing actually to report about, that everything is normal, and that is visible from the background. Like you can see, Ben Trenjue, this is just like another day to the residents of Kisumu here. There is not much excitement, there is not all that gloom actually. It is just normal, and that reflects whatever you're seeing on the background, that reflects what has been happening actually in the larger Siaya County, which is the home county of Raila Odinga. The residents here are saying they will maintain peace, they will work with the government of the day, but then what they are calling upon the next regime is also to run an inclusive government. Well, I'll continue speaking with the rest of the residents and sample their views and reactions, and all that will come to our viewers exclusively in our next bulletin. So back to you, Ben.
Thank you, Wycliffe Okecha from Bondo there. And as you have seen, and as he has alluded to, is that no pomp, no color. Their residents continuing with their day-to-day activities and saying that let's respect the Apex Court. Of course, they do not agree with it, but let's respect that so that we may go on. Then from Bondo, let's now cross over here to the capital city, Nairobi, where Hibak Said has been keeping a keen eye since morning at the CBD, just to see how things are. Of course, earlier on, security had been beefed up. There was some screen mounted in various parts of the CBD. How are things now, Hibak?
Thank you, Ben Troy. We are still here at the Central Business District, and just an update from when we last spoke. Now, people here have been waiting for 12 p.m. or 12 noon to hear what exactly the Supreme Court would say and what exactly the judgment would be. At around 1 p.m. when the judgment came out, people were in jubilation. Just a few minutes ago here at the Central Business District archives, we saw a lot of people. They were gathered around. They were jubilation. They were jubilant. They were talking about how they're very happy with what has come. But the message that prevailed was peace. A lot of Kenyans just want peace. The businesses are continuing as they have been. And maybe we could just talk to you as a person who was supporting or in support of the president-elect. Mlikuja hapa, mkapiga mbwembwe, you guys had a lot of fun. What exactly was your feeling when you heard what the Supreme Court had to say?
Okay, kwanza kwa majina naitwa Kiprono James. Nataka nishukuru Bwana Chebukati, Martha Koome kwa ruling yenye leo wameifanya. And then nataka nishukuru tena wa Kenya vile wame keep peace, kila kitu inaendelea, na si wote ni mandugu na si wote ni ma sisters. So nataka niwaambie bwana rais elect William Ruto wasalimiane na Raila, waongee pamoja kinauru, si wote ni ndugu moja. Alafu Kenya iende mbele, na tena nishukuru wananchi kwa sababu wameiweka hii nchi iwe funzo kwa nchi zingine kwa amani ambao wameiweka. Asante sana.
Now, that is just one side of the coin, Ben Troy. You hear the people are just, they want peace, they want coordination, they want cooperation. And maybe for the Azimio side, they also had you had your own side, you had your own story, you wanted your own ruling. However, the ruling was the president-elect would be Ruto, or rather the president, or rather the elections would be upheld. What exactly were your thoughts?
Okay, my thoughts, I think my name is Francis Kigadi. I was a Azimio party, and today is my bad day. Let me say my bad day or a good day, because sikuwa natarajia Martha Koome ata announce Ruto, but kwa sababu ana announce Ruto, mimi kama mfuasi wa baba nimeshakubali kushindwa, na nimesema baba tarehe kesho asubuhi nitakuja kwake pale Karen. Mimi mwenyewe nimetoka huko kijiji inaitwa Kingston, nitaenda kwake nimpeleke bodo, hata kama ni fair nimekubali kutoa fare yangu tuende nyumbani pamoja, juu asiyekubali kushindwa sio mshindani, na ninaomba wachikane mkono hivi tuende kama tujenge nchi pamoja. Asante sana KBC, Kenya ni moja.
That is the picture that Kenyans here at Nairobi are sending to you, Ben Troy, and are sending to other Kenyans. People want peace, people want cooperation, and they're okay with the judgment that has been made. Now, back to you in studio, Ben Troy.
Thank you so much, Hibak Said, there with two supporters, one of Azimio and the other happens to be a Kenya Kwanza, and they've talked about the handshake, and I think this is what we have been talking about as Kenyans. Let's wait for the Apex Court. The Apex Court has delivered its judgment, and now it's for us to embrace it and move forward. Look at the economy, the battered economy. Look at the high cost of living. Those are some of the issues that are affecting each and every Kenyan, despite your political divide. That was Nairobi CBD. We are keeping a keen eye on various parts of the country, and looking at your screen, what you're seeing is another venue that we are giving a keen eye, and we have been doing so the better part of the morning. There, that is the Deputy President residence, where President-elect will be addressing Kenyans from. And as you have seen, is that we have seen that a lot of leaders have already gotten to that. We'll be crossing over there. But on your screen is my colleague Simon Achola, straight all the way from Kisumu. Achola, how has things been there?
Thank you very much, Ben Troy and Joey. Here in Kisumu, everything is a bit calm, much more than you would expect. Where I'm standing, I'm just standing next to Oginga Odinga Street. Now, 5 years ago, this street was a beehive of activities on a day like this when the Supreme Court had annulled the then presidential election. All residents had actually gathered along the streets and were celebrating. I remember very well that we were standing where we are actually standing, and we could barely move because of the number of people that had actually poured on these streets in terms of celebration. But today, the situation is pretty much different from what we saw several years back. What we have seen today is that the locals are calm, cool and collected. They are going about their business. A number of businesses have actually been closed for obvious reasons. We have actually tried as much as we can to engage a number of locals here. We were in Kondele early in the morning and the better part of mid-morning. And what happened is that the locals there actually were very categorical with us and told us that they didn't want the media around that place because they felt that just the mere presence of the media in that place would actually attract huge or large crowds in that particular place, and that they had said might actually turn into chaos. So they wanted to have their peace of mind as they reflect on exactly what Supreme Court has actually delivered today. We have actually also gone to various bunge la wananchi, the small groups that actually gather around town to discuss political issues and of course current affairs in this particular CBD, and most of them have actually turned us away, and they are saying that they want to reflect on today's Supreme Court ruling, and most of them are also of the opinion that they want to maintain peace and order, and they wouldn't like a situation where people are actually gathering and they feel that probably too much gathering might actually flare up a situation. However, Ben, Troy, Joey, where we are at now as I've said, we are along Oginga Odinga Street, and there are a number of boda riders who've actually gathered here, and locals who would actually want to say one thing or two. We will try as much as we can so that then we keep it civil and we ensure that we are within the narrow and straight route of conversation. Niambie unaitwa nani?
Kwa majina naitwa Collins Oluoch aka Wood Nyara Kingley.
Wood Nyara Kingley.
Kabisa.
Leo koti imetoa maamuzi yake. Wewe kama mkazi wa Kisumu, kwanza kabisa wewe umepokea vipi?
Kwa kwangu wenyewe mimi nimepokea hiyo ruling ya court, but ijanifurahisha vile. Juu kwanza nikianza vile petition ilienda kwa mbele ya jaji Martha Koome. Vile nilisikia akiangusha mapetitioners wote wa 6, akawangusa petition yao yote. Imeniambia eti Kenya yenyewe imekaa kani kucheza sabiki jackpot mbao. Yenye unaweka pesa 20 bob alafu unachagua autoplay na mashini ndio inakuchagulia mshindi. Hiyo kitu janifresha kenyewe. Kusema ukweli, Kisumu naye tuko na amani. Juu hatutaki vita. Awali nimekuwa nikisema, hata nikiambia watu wangu wa bodaboda wengine nikawaambia eti punda imechoka. Na ikichoka imechoka kabisa. Tutaendelea kufanya na rais mwenye amechaguliwa, na ningependa kumuomba huyo rais wetu William Ruto, vile hata alisema awali sijui watu wa Kisumu kufanya kazi na yeye sijui nini, atupilie hizo mbali na kuja tuletee maendeleo, kwa sababu yeye ndio amechaguliwa. Na hata Martha Koome alisema eti Supreme Court is the final. Hakuna kitu yenye tunaweza fanya, na yenyewe kama mimi kwangu hiyo matokeo hajaniridhisha kabisa.
Lakini umekubaliana nayo?
Nitafanya nini? Lazima nikubaliane nayo. Juu yeye ndio ametoa uamuzi yake. Na hakuna koti nyingine tena tunaweza enda. Na kitu yenye ni udhi kabisa kusema tu kweli. Hakuna venye angesupport hata petitioner mmoja, aseme eti Julie Soweto petition yake ilikuwa sawa, lakini hiyo iwezi fanya tunalify election ya president elect.